None of these athletes will ever be the same after this.
Triple H again! Triple H again! Pedigree!
SummerSlam is one of the 4 biggest WWE PLE, and the company surely goes big at this time of the year. The biggest party of the summer has been a lot of great matches, be it John Cena versus AJ Styles or Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. We have gone through all of them to curate a list of the top 10 SummerSlam matches of history so far. These matches have made the list because they had everything. Interesting storylines, intense fights, big star power, and high stakes. Here are the top 10 SummerSlam matches of history.
Off the Heyman distraction! And a counter! What a counter!
CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar, 2013. So, the first match on our top 10 SummerSlam matches is The Beast versus The Best. This match took place because of that sleazy, cunning, mind game playing manager, Paul Heyman. Before being the wise man to Roman Reigns, Heyman had some major names under his management with the likes of Ryback and Curtis Axel. Wait, my bad. I think I grabbed the list for the worst Paul Heyman guy. Jokes aside, I am actually talking about the best Paul Heyman guys, CM Punk and Brock Lesnar. CM Punk was a heel when he was a Paul Heyman guy, but when he made his return in 2013, he was a babyface and did not require Heyman's assistance. This led to Heyman turning on Punk at the 2013 Money in the Bank match. Punk wanted to get his hands on Heyman for costing him the MITB contract, but Heyman, being Heyman, he brought out the Beast to fight the Best. The setup for the match was pretty interesting, and the odds were all against the Chicago native. Odds will always be against you when you're facing the Beast. A lot of people thought that Brock would crush Punk in a quick match, but both wrestlers went on to give one of the best matches of their careers. It was a no disqualification match, and Punk used every damn weapon he could to put down the Beast, but it wasn't enough. In the end, it was the hate Punk had for Heyman that led him to his demise. While the Best in the world was distracted by Heyman, Brock took the opportunity and F5'd Punk on a steel chair to take the victory.
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels versus Triple H, 2002. When you have two best friends in a ring, you're sure to see great chemistry. Hunter and the Heartbreak Kid have had a lot of matches together, both as a tag team and against each other. Their 2002 SummerSlam match was an unsanctioned street fight, and it was just a roller coaster ride. Michaels had suffered a back injury in 1998 and was making his return to the ring after 4 years. Everyone was so happy seeing him back, but there was one person who was not delighted, and it was the game, Triple H. Triple H had turned heel and attacked Michaels on an episode of Raw. This led to their match at SummerSlam 2002. The expectations were very low for the match, as it was Michaels' first match in 4 years. But when the match started, the Heartbreak Kid shook the crowd with his energy. Triple H took every opportunity he got to target Shawn's back. He threw Shawn multiple times into the corner and used a leather belt, steel chair, and trash can to destroy Shawn's back. Michaels was in brutal pain and was on the verge of giving up, but he took in the crowd's energy and showed that he still got it. The match ended with Michaels reversing a pedigree into a roll-up and pining Hunter in the process. The game was not happy with the outcome and attacked Michaels with a sledgehammer, targeting his back. Triple H lost the match. Shawn Michaels was the one who was taken out on the stretcher. The end was a huge success, as Triple H gained a lot of heat from the fans. The Undertaker versus Mankind, 1996. When we think of The Undertaker and Mankind, the first thing that comes to our mind is the infamous spot where The Undertaker threw Mankind off the top of the cell. The two mysterious wrestlers had an intense rivalry that lasted for over 3 years. They fought on multiple stages with a lot of stipulation matches like the Buried Alive and the Hell in a Cell. One of their matches took place at the 1996 SummerSlam PPV, and it was a Boiler Room Brawl match. What is a Boiler Room Brawl match, you ask? So, there was this storyline where Mankind told the WWE Universe that Boiler Room was his home. Taker decided to beat Mankind on his home turf and show him who the Phenom was. The rules of this match were pretty simple. It was a no disqualification match where both the wrestlers would start from the Boiler Room. They would need to make their way to Paul Bearer, who was standing in the center of the ring, and take the urn from him. The match started in Boiler Room with both men bashing each other, with whatever they could get their hands on. They used steel, pipes, trash cans, and wood pieces to destroy each other. As they made their way to the ring, Undertaker went in first to get the urn, but in a shocking turn of events, Paul Bearer turned on Taker and bashed him with the same urn. Seriously though, what's up with managers named Paul turning on their agent? Anyway, Bearer then handed the urn to Mankind, making him the victor of the match. Rock vs. Triple H, 1998. You would surely be called one of the greatest SummerSlam matches in history if you outshine a world title main event match between The Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin that was on the same night. The Rock and Triple H have had a rivalry that continues to have the same effect in the modern age of pro wrestling. Both men have competed in a lot of matches and for different levels of prices. Their match at SummerSlam 1998 was for the Intercontinental Championship, and it was a ladder match. The match took place during the feud between the factions D-Generation X and the Nation of Domination. Triple H and The Rock were leaders of their respective factions and wanted to prove their dominance. At Fully Loaded PPV, they faced off in a 2 out of 3 falls match, which ended in a draw. The Rock then attacked Triple H with a ladder, hence setting up a ladder match for the Great One's Intercontinental Championship. The match was filled with brutal spots and a lot of ladders because, of course, it was Triple H versus The Rock. At the end of the match, both men struggled to climb the ladder and grab the title. Any one of the two could have won at that point, but Chyna's interference changed the course of the match. Chyna hit The Rock with a low blow, making the Great One fall off the ladder and giving Hunter enough time to grab the IC title.
Whoever stays up, no! Oh, no!
Shawn Michaels vs. Razer Ramon, 1995. Well, we have another SummerSlam ladder match with the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Shawn Michaels and Razer Ramon's ladder match at 1995 SummerSlam PPV was their second ladder match for the IC title. Before this, the future Hall of Famers faced each other at the greatest stage of them all, WrestleMania X. 16 months after their iconic match, the two men were up for a second round at SummerSlam. The WrestleMania X match took place because they wanted to find out who the undisputed IC champion was. On the other hand, their SummerSlam 1995 match took place because Vince McMahon knew the PPV was going to be a dud and needed a Gaze's Gathering match on the card. Shawn Michaels vs. Razer Ramon II was as good as their first ladder match. Some might even say that it surpassed their previous one. This time around, the Heartbreak Kid was the Intercontinental Champion and had everything to lose. This match had an organic feel because of the unknown nature of the ladders used in this match. The end of the match saw HBK throwing Razer off the ring and then struggling to climb the ladder. Michaels somehow managed to climb the ladder and take back the title. The crowd cheered HBK and Razer for their performance. Razer Ramon even showed respect after the match by shaking HBK's hand. Edge vs. The Undertaker, 2008. This was the time when we all used to hate Edge for the sleazy bastard he was. But you have to agree, he gave such great matches. Edge vs. The Undertaker at SummerSlam 2008 was the final match in their rivalry. The two men had been feuding for a year, which started when Edge crashed in his Money in the Bank contract on The Undertaker, who was the world champion at that time. Edge was off-screen for a few months, but when he returned, he once again cost Taker his world title in a match against Batista at Survivor Series 2007. Both legends then faced off at WrestleMania 24, where Undertaker took the win. Later, in a TLC match, Edge used his heel tactics to get his hands on the world title. Edge was on the top of the moon with this win, and also cheated on his then on-screen wife, Vicky Guerrero. This made Vicky furious, and she set up the Hell in the Cell match between Edge and The Undertaker for the main event of SummerSlam 2008. The two wrestlers fought all over the cell, and even outside the cell, after Edge speared Taker through the cell wall. Hell was literally unleashed inside the structure as chairs, tables, ladders, and steel steps were used. In the end, Taker performed his tombstone finisher to secure the win. The dead man left the ring after the victory, but had to come back to teach the rated R superstar a lesson from hell. Taker chokeslammed Edge through the ring, and then set the spot on fire.
And pumped them ready to deliver, probably a rock bottom. Lesnar, there it is! Rock bottom!
The Rock vs. Brock Lesnar, 2002. We have another match from SummerSlam 2002 and it's The Rock versus Brock Lesnar for the undisputed WWE Championship. Brock Lesnar was called the next big when he first arrived in WWE. In just 3 months of his arrival, Lesnar won the King of the Ring tournament that year and got a WWE Championship title at SummerSlam 2002. As for The Rock, he was entering this match after beating The Undertaker for the WWE Championship at the Vengeance PPV in July of that year. The Rock started the match with a lot of energy as he ran straight to Lesnar without completing his entrance, but the Beast was prepared for it and tossed the Great One with a belly-to-belly suplex. The wrestlers took the fight to the ringside, where The Rock took out Paul Heyman with rock bottom. In the finishing moments of the match, Rock went for the People's Elbow, but Lesnar reversed it with a vicious clothesline. The Beast Incarnate then picked up The Rock for the F5, but Rock too had some reversal of his own, as he reversed the F5 into a rock bottom. The reversal fest continued with Lesnar reversing the rock bottom and finally hitting F5 to pin the Great One. Lesnar went on to become the youngest WWE champion in history.
Either one of these athletes will never be the same after this.
Triple H again. Triple H again.
John Cena versus CM Punk, 2011. This was the time when CM Punk was at its peak with the pipe bomb promo and the feud with John Cena. Before having their match at SummerSlam, Punk and Cena faced at the Money in the Bank in 2011. Punk's contract was going to expire after that night, so Punk made a promise that he would win the title and leave the company with the title. Punk surely kept his promise and left the company after that night. In the meantime, Cena won the vacant WWE Championship, and then Punk made his return with his title. Both superstars were champion, hence setting up their match at SummerSlam 2011 for the undisputed WWE Championship. While this match was not able to touch the level of their Money in the Bank match, it still was a pretty great face-off. They gave their all, throwing out one finisher after another and having close calls. However, the ending was a bit messy. Punk knocked out Cena by hitting his final GTS and went for the cover. The Cenation leader quickly gathered enough strength to put his leg on the bottom rope, but the referee did not see that, and declared CM Punk the undisputed WWE champion.
Oh no. I think I know. Oh, look at this.
The hero. The hero.
Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero, 2005. Who thought the custody of the child Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero were fighting for would grow up to become the piece of crap we all know as Dirty Dom? We have our third ladder match on this list, but this time, there was no title or some contract on the line. It was for Dominic Mysterio's custody. I mean, it might sound weird on paper, but the feud was damn interesting. A child's future was going to be decided by a ladder match. Classic Vince, I tell you. Classic Vince. Eddie came very close to winning the match. He trapped Rey under the ladder and climbed on the same ladder to take off Dominique's custody. But Rey managed to throw off the ladder, leaving Eddie to hang off the briefcase. In the end, Eddie once again gets on top of the ladder, but this time, his wife, Vicky Guerrero, comes into the ring and pushes Eddie off the ladder, making the path clear for Rey to win back his son's custody.
One of these athletes will never be the same after this.
Triple H again. Triple H again.
Triple H versus Brock Lesnar, 2012. Brock Lesnar was in his second WWE run. This run was not that impactful up until this match. Lesnar only had one match after his return, and it was against the Cenation leader, John Cena. Lesnar lost that match and desperately needed a win against Triple H at SummerSlam 2012 to bring back his dominance. Triple H was also coming from a loss against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 28. On his road to SummerSlam, Lesnar broke Hunter's hand, and then a week before the PPV, broke HBK's hand. Triple H was coming for revenge. Beast Incarnate was ready for a fight. The match was pure destruction and filled with hard-hitting movesets. Lesnar took every opportunity he got to get Hunter into the Kimura lock. Triple H somehow managed to get out of every single one of Lesnar's lock. By the end of the match, Triple H had no gas left in his tank and tapped out to Lesnar's final Kimura lock. This was our list of top 10 SummerSlam matches of history. We're sure that WWE will produce an even more thrilling SummerSlam match now that Triple H is in charge of running things.